Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. My men are in the building. They're all lined up to get ready to rock and roll. So let's get this show started. My man T in the building from Martha's Vineyard. How's everything going out there, bro?
It's going, brother. Last night doozy. We selling them out here.
Yeah, I was trying to get down there last night, bro. I couldn't even get the ferry. Everything was sold out, bro. So
we doing it up out here. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's good to hear. My man Fig is in the building. What's up, Fig? How you doing?
First off, tell Martha I said hello. Very good friends. We go way back. And Frank, listen, you in good shape, man. You can swim.
Yeah, I ain't that good shape. I ain't that good of a shape. No. My man Mike Sean is in the building. Mike, what's happening?
What up, fellas? What's going on?
Yeah, good to hear from you. And Amir Sealy's also in the building. Amir, you got to turn your phone on.
That's who Amir in the building. Okay.
Amir, you there, Amir?
Uh-oh. Well,
Amir got a 10.
There you go. Amir on that side.
Okay, Amir. Okay.
What's going on, fellas? How's everything?
Good to see you, man. How's everything?
Everything is good. Everything is good, man.
All right, so you know how we do. We got to get this show started, man. And so the first thing up, man, is I woke up this morning through my normal stories and everything. I think the announcement came to you that my woman who I wanted my most favorite athlete, Serena Williams, announced her retirement. Well, she didn't really officially announce it. She just stated that she is going to take some time and things are going to, it step away from tennis for a little while. Now, here's the thing. She has 23 major singles titles, and she has 186 straight weeks on the WTA rankings. And I was amazed she's got so many accolades. It's amazing. When you hear Serena Williams is moving on, see, what's your thought? What's your first thought?
Well, first of all, nobody can't just say they quitting no more. Everybody be like, where you going? Well, I'm going to take care of a few things in the yard. And raise the I quit. Why can't just quit? Nobody can just quit. Just quit. No, you did your thing. Listen, these athletes that are athletes from children, by all means, when they ready to call it quits, I respect that to the fullest. May life have better endeavors for you and fulfill your heart because you've been captive for this thing called a sport since a kid. I'm not mad.
Yeah, I'm not mad either. Fig, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, Fig, when you see about this?
It's bittersweet. You know what I mean? You know that she's reaching the age where she can no longer compete at a high level. And I'm happy for her because of all her accolades and stuff like that. But the real sad part about it is that she doesn't have somebody that she can pass the baton to, just yet. There's nobody to really pass that torch because she dominated at such a high level for such a long time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Mike, your thoughts?
I mean, it's kind of crazy because Venus is a Hall of Fame tennis player. And you can't understand, like, I'm really good. Like, I'm Hall of Fame status. Like, I always thought, like, how does it feel to have a sister that's that much better than you?
Yeah.
Like, Venus literally has won 49 titles, multiple Wimbledons, and her sister is that much. It's like being Jordan's brother, and you done won 4 championships.
No, Mike, no. That's like being Jesus' brother.
Yeah, it's like being Jesus. It's like you were rocking with Jesus and you had apostles. And you were like, oh, I walked on water too. Like it's amazing how great Serena really is. Like she is the most dominant player that we've ever seen. Like we say Jordan, LeBron, Jordan. Serena was dominant, like on a level above LeBron, Jordan, and all them. It's amazing. Like if I was Venus, I would kill myself.
Really man, you get the last word on this.
I just kind of kill myself.
You know what? It is one of those things that, like so many things, we have
had the opportunity to experience in our lifetime, you never think that greatness is going to come to an end. For whatever reason, you just hope that one, you're there to witness it, but then two, it just doesn't end. And to Fig's point, it is sad that seemingly there is nobody to pass, that baton to, who can now take on the mantra and carry it forward. Now, that's not to say that there aren't great tennis players, because I think the young lady, Naomi, I think she has the potential too, but Naomi Osaka. But I think
Amir, if you don't button your top button, I'm gonna fight you. Like, stop.
But I think one of the things that everybody has to take into account is
I'm playing. I was playing.
The energy of these new kids is so much different from us as as fans. We came up in an era where everything was about the competition and night in and night out proving that you were the best. These kids now don't have that same kind of drive. So it's going to be interesting to see who does take over the mantle now that she may be stepping aside,
Right. Well, with that being said, T, I'm going to throw this out there to all you guys, man. I asked you guys to do a little quick homework and everything else on this, man. So I was like, we always talk about Mount Rushmores of this, Mount Rushmore of that. We always talk about having to always be men. So let's throw this out there today right now. If you had to name your Mount Rushmore of your most favorite women athletes, who, besides being dominant like Serena, we know Serena is one of them. You know what I mean? So who would be your other three most dominant or most exciting? Doesn't have to be both, but one or the other. So you got four women you had to name. Who would be your four women that you would have to put on your Mount Rushmore of athletes?
Can't hear you, Kenny.
I'm with Mike with the first, how the Williams sisters are so great. They my first two. Bam, smack right there. And then I'm gonna put on the left, I'm gonna put Tina Thompson, and then on the right, Vanessa Del Rio.
Okay. I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that last one. I'm gonna keep it moving.
How you gonna act like you don't hear that last one? That last one is amazing.
Right? Athletes, right?
Yeah. I wasn't talking about ball handler though. I wasn't talking about ball handler. I was talking about overall.
No, she was a ball handler.
I know that. That's why I said I wasn't talking about just ball handling. I was talking about overall. So with that being said, Fig, who's your four Mount Rushmore athletes?
Well, first off, talent's list was amazing. Top to bottom. No pun intended. But listen, man, when you talk about female athletes being dominant or the greatest, if you don't start with Serena at the top and then there's everybody else, then your list is flawed. Talent, you got to start with Venus and Serena. And then for me, I'm a track and field fan, so I got to go with Allison Felix because she was extremely dominant. Honorable mention, Cheryl Miller. Sad that she didn't get an opportunity.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like the WNBA wasn't around when she had an opportunity to play. But this young lady that's coming along right now, she just shattered her own world record. Her name is Sydney McLaughlin. She runs the 400-meter hurdles. She just shattered her own world record just recently, man. This young lady, I can see. Say what?
McLaughlin?
Yeah. No. That's a different kind of Glock. I'll show you that later. No, but yeah, she just shattered her own record, man. And she's an amazing track and field athlete, man. So Mike, those are my tops.
Mike Sean, who's your top four?
I don't even think I have top four, but FloJo is probably at my top.
Yeah.
Because what she did, Cheryl Miller, somebody took that, and damn. We are like a male chauvinistic show right now. Like I'm trying to figure out.
What about boxing, Mike? What about boxing?
Christy Mitchell.
What about Clarissa Shields?
Yeah, she was good, but Reggie Miller. How about that? Reggie Miller.
That show with a wig.
Yeah. Amir, who's your top four?
Probably just send us these questions early, dog.
I got Jackie Joyner Kersey. I got FloJo, I had Cheryl Miller, and then I had Cheryl Swoops.
Cheryl
nice.
Swoops. Yes.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So, Talent, the other
Herschel
day,
Walker. No.
Talent, the other day, there were some women who got stuck in the airport. The WNBA man, the WNBA team got stuck in the airport. They ended up getting in very, very early the day of the game. Got stuck in everything else, and I saw a couple of exposés on everything else. So, I guess the question is, do you think the WNBA will ever level out to be like the NBA? And hell, will they ever at least get their own chartered plane?
I think eventually, everything come with time. I think it's still in their grizzle. They're only about 3-4 years away from being a little more respected.
So you think 3 or 4 years they'll get it? Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's about 3-4 more years, Frank. They're gonna be, because see what happens is attendance is the smaller part of the battle. The bigger part is sponsorship. Them sponsorships gonna start funneling that money over there. Then they're gonna have private play.
Right. Fig, what does WNBA have to do to get on an equal playing field with the NBA?
You know what's kind of sad is that, women say that, they want equal rights and all that stuff like that, and they want the WNBA to be equal to the NBA. Well, then I would just say, then why don't y'all support the sport? You understand what I'm saying? Because if women come out in record numbers to support the WNBA, then the WNBA is going over the top. At the end of the day, the WNBA and the NBA is a business. And if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. How do you justify a private jet for a franchise that's not making that money? It's not making enough money to even pay the players a decent salary. It's economics is what's causing it. The only way I can see it happening very quickly is that if the owners use the private jets as a write-off, because it got to be a loss. It's not going to be a profit. So if you use it, give it to the team, let them use the thing, and then at the end of the day, you write it as a loss, a business loss, then you can do it that way. Other than that, I don't see it as a profitable business decision.
All right, same question goes to you, Mike. In your opinion, what does the WNBA have to do to level off with the NBA?
They have to get that superstar. Like the NBA, for everybody talking about the WNBA, remember, in 1980, that finals was actually on tape delay. I watched Magic Johnson win that championship with the Philadelphia 76ers at midnight. But you have to get those two people. I don't know who it is. But you have to get somebody who's special. So the NBA got a white guy and a black guy to literally lift up the NBA that happened to be from Boston and LA. I honestly know marketing is so important, but you have to get those special people that happen to be in your league that you go like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to see these people. And even though the WNBA has amazing players that are like high level, they still haven't gotten those two superstars that can lift it, that can lift the league up. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You got to get there. I really don't.
All right, but here's the thing. Amir, I'm gonna throw it to you, Amir. Here's the thing. When the NBA did it, we were also in the league. Obviously, we had the black. We had a white and black player going against each other, but it also was in the height of racial tension too. You know what I mean? For white versus black, so that played into it. Then you had two iconic franchises that playing into it. The problem to me with the WNBA is none of the teams are iconic franchises. None of them been around so long, so you got that problem. But Amir, if I drop this at your footsteps right now, drop this at your feet, how do you turn the WNBA around to be on the same level as the NBA and to help turn it so these women are not flying charter planes? You know what I mean? Not flying commercial. You know what I mean? They got to fly charter. You know what do you do, Amir?
Well, I think, to Mike's point, he's absolutely right. They have to create And I know we hate to say that when it comes to even the great players that we've seen in the NBA, but they create a lot of the mystery. They create a lot of the energy around some of these guys. I'm not saying that they don't have great work ethic. I'm not saying that these guys aren't great athletes because everybody gets up in arms. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the NBA in particular does an almost amazing job of creating a persona for a specific player. Whether we are honest with ourselves, over the last few years, they've done it for LeBron, they've done it for Kobe, they've done it for Jordan, they've done it for just certain players. And what has happened is the entire free world has gotten behind that player, whether it's to like him or to hate him, but they've gotten behind him in some way, shape, or form. And to Mike's point, I don't know if the WNBA has that kind of player, because it requires a special person to be able to be loved and hated at the same time.
Right.
That's not an easy thing to be able to walk in every day.
Right. And like I said too, that there was a height of racial tension too. You know what I mean? So it's not only just the two things, but racial tension played a lot.
Hey, Frank, we don't have one female on the show, and understand that I'm gonna do Rodney Perry right now. We can't watch. We don't care. Ask any guy on this square. We do not care about a female, the WNBA. Now ask everybody. You care? Does anybody know?
You know what it is? Can I answer that, Frank?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if it's about caring. I think what, and this is what I was going to say. I think what the problem is with the WNBA is when your average fan watches, you don't see anything that says, like, I can't do that. Like, there's no way possible I'd be able to do that. When you watch the NFL and you watch the NBA, you're watching almost like a gladiator type sport. Like, these athletes are doing things that you, on your best day, in the best shape that you could possibly be in, you're never going to be able to do that. And that's what makes that's what makes certain sports exciting. Yeah. When you watch the WNBA, you watching guys that are out on the court that are
girls.
Just lazy, and you don't see
women.
That you think that the average person wouldn't be able to do. Like, who can't make a layup and a jump shot? And I think that's the reason why people just don't tune in big numbers to say, like, yo, they did something really exciting. It just, I don't know. That's my take on it. That's my opinion.
But Big, do you watch? Big, do you watch?
No.
Talent, do you watch?
I do watch. Here's the thing, though.
No, you don't.
I think that it don't. What's happening with the WNBA is none of nobody's fault on this show. The reality is, what it was targeted to do, that target audience is not interested. It's not about us. We already got NBA. It's about women doing the same thing, but how many women are supporting these women?
Yeah,
that's really where something lies. When we come up with something, we come up with a demographic breakdown. We come up with who we're pushing towards, who we want this to be the fan base. And the problem with what it was designed to do, those people don't care. Not us. Don't put it on us, because we've been supporting all these facets of sports every day. But like Fig said, now it's a different level of the same sport. I'm still watching my sport, but for the fan base that was supposed to watch that sport, they didn't show up.
Right.
And they didn't consistently show up. Right. So now the pressure falls back on guys like that.
All right, so since I got you to square on you, since we talk about the WNBA, let's segue over to the NBA, because there's been some new developments into stuff that we all do care about. We talk about all the time. It's like now there's some new stuff going on, with Kevin Durant. He came back out over the weekend and reiterated his trade request, and he demanded to the net ownership that either the general manager and the coach go, Sean Marks and Steve Nash goes, or he goes. It's something. So he put a new trade request onto that. So my question to you, then, is where's your thought process with this when you hear about this talent, and what's your thoughts on Kevin Durant meeting with the ownership and giving them an ultimatum? What's your things?
I hope he wins. I hope he wins. The only reason I hope he gets what he wants, because Steve Nash shouldn't have got that job that fast anyway.
Right.
So it would be a win if he wins in that aspect. Now, let's just take Steve Nash out of the equation and get out of our feelings. He needs to shut up. He needs to shut the hell up because reiterating the trade, we've seen this happen time and time again. You had a small wish list of teams you wanted to go to. And everybody knows, cat's out the bag, everybody knows you want to go to a contender. At least case scenario. You keep messing with the ownership and piss somebody off a little more. Kevin Durant going to end his career in Siberia. You got to be careful.
Yeah, because they have the power. Fig, they have the power. They have the power. Kevin Durant got 4 years left on his radar, on his thing, man. Fig, what's your thought process on KD demanding his new trade, man?
This is a classic example of what we call overplaying your hand. This is spades right here. Kevin Durant been a Boston, and he should have went for board. And the thing is, you bid 10, but you got 3. So basically, you're gonna get set. Hey man, listen. First he talked about get me out of here. Then he talked about you're gonna fire the GM and you're gonna fire the coach. Wait a minute, didn't you sign off on this coach? Now you want to fire? Like, yo, come on, man. You're overplaying your hand. Here's the thing: you got 4 years left on your contract. You're 34 years old, which means by the time your contract is over, you're gonna be 38. Now, I'm not saying you can't be a decent player, but you're not gonna be the main dude. You're not gonna be the franchise player at 38 years old. And if you are, you on a sorry team. At 38, if you're the best player on your team, you on a sorry team, Kevin. So you made your bed. At this point, you made your bed. You better lie in it, or you're going to end up on the Western Front, like Talon said, somewhere in Siberia playing the snowball.
I'm trying to tell you. Mike, like Fig just said, he signed off on this. He put himself in this position. He signed off on the coach, right? Him and Kyrie, they were like, yeah, we want this dude to be the coach. Mike, what's your thoughts? Where you at?
Kevin Durant is the fakest LeBron James wannabe ever. Ever. When LeBron went to different teams, it don't matter what team he went to. Like, we laugh at the Russell Westbrook thing. That was his one mistake. His one mistake. Everywhere else, he won a championship. Kevin Durant is now acting. Dog, Kevin Durant is going to actually wind up with the Sacramento Kings. He's going to wind up with the Kings. Like, dog, the owner of the Nets is looking at you like, dog, your agent didn't tell you about the contract? We got you. There's nowhere to go. If we don't want to send you nowhere, we ain't going to send you nowhere.
Right.
And the funny thing is that Kevin Durant is so passive aggressive is that this year, if he chills and just plays with the Nets, he probably would make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Watch.
Probably.
There's nothing he can demand. What's he going to do? Say, take me out my contract? We're not. You're not going back to Golden State. You're not going back to OKC. You're going to sit right here in Brooklyn. We're going to sell your jerseys, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, or he end up in the Orlando Magic. He keep it up. Watch. Amir, what's your take on this, bro? I mean, you know, he did sign off on management. He did sign off on coaching. What's your take?
You know, it is amazing the level of frustration the new players seem to have with situations that they're creating themselves. Oddly enough, you know, back in the days, you used to sign these, 20, 15-year contracts, and you were just stuck. There's nothing you could do. You couldn't say anything. You just were stuck. These guys are negotiating shorter terms. Again, signing off on who's, part of the deal. I need Mike Sean over here. I need talent. I need Fig to do this.
I'm not going. I'm not going.
When these things don't work out, everybody is upset except for the person who actually put it together. Kevin, look, sir. You're one of the greatest scorers the game has ever seen. There's no two ways about it. You're an amazing talent. At some point, though, you got to roll up your sleeves and quote unquote show everybody what you supposedly want everybody to believe you are. Where's that at?
I'm trying to tell
when are you going to do that?
Hey, Frank, you know what's sad? The thing about Kevin Durant is his talent is really working against him. Kevin Durant is so great. What the Nets are asking for so that they would trade, by the time he gets to the team, they'd be worse than the team that he's already on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo,
right,
dude,
real quick.
They asking for everybody. They asking for a star play. They asking for everybody for Kevin Durant.
I'm agreeing with Fig, but right now, if we really sat here and said, can we name 10 players better than Kevin right now?
Yeah, you can. You can.
No, I think we can. In my opinion, I think we can.
Not better than 10? 10 now.
10. I would take.
No.
I would take
so.
2. Okay, go ahead.
I think so. But T, we're getting ready to start this rapid fire, man. I want to get through some of these NBA questions before we jump into the NFL. So I'm gonna ask each one of you all a different question, and get ready to sit back. Here you go, because you know, and I'm already saying it before we start. Mike Sean probably ain't gonna like his question. So,
LeBron James.
No, LeBron's later. All right,
LeBron is still better than him right now. LeBron's still better than him right now.
Did Doc Rivers cause Ben Simmons to leave? Since the topic right now is Ben Simmons left the group chat when asked to play Game 4 versus Boston in the group chat against the team and everything else. Did Doc Rivers yesterday and the day before took a lot of heat because people were saying, Doc Rivers, you the one who caused all this whole situation and everything else. In your opinion, do you think Doc Rivers is the one who caused Ben Simmons to leave?
I think so, but no fault of his own. I mean, he's a boisterous, type of coach. He gets in your face. He's loud. He's yelling. And Ben strikes me as that soft guy that needs to be coached very delicately. So I would say, yeah.
Okay.
It's probably
all right.
true of that.
All right. Fig, your question is, who's going to have a better upcoming season, Russell Westbrook or Ben Simmons? The way it's going on right now.
I think Ben Simmons, because he has more of an upside, and Ben Simmons is coming off of an injury, as opposed to Russell Westbrook still playing the way that Russell Westbrook is playing, the way he sees himself, as opposed to how he actually is. And he's taking 3-point shots, and he's not a 3-point shooter. If Russell Westbrook would just take the ball to the hole and protect the basketball when he's driving,
pause.
He would, pause.
Pause.
If he would just stop so many turnovers and drive to the hoop, he would be a much better player than the Russell Westbrook that takes jump shots, because he's not a good jump shot shooter.
Okay, all right. Mike Sean, does Kevin Durant still end up being an all-star caliber player when he's 38 years old?
When he's 38?
When he's 30, at the end of his contract, he'll be 38. Will he still be an MVP type all-star NBA caliber player when he's 38 years old?
Yes, because he's 7 foot. And he'll still wind up being an all-star player, because there's no way to block his jump shot. I mean, people have, but there's no way to block his jump shot. So, pause 7 times, but yeah.
Okay.
There's no way to stop Kevin Durant's 15 or 20-footer or 3-point jump shot. There's no way.
All right. And Amir, on this round of rapid fire, you get the last question. If LeBron James was to have his legacy end today, right now.
Oh, give me that question. Damn it.
I'll give you that question. I'll give you that question. I need to go last one more.
Why do you do that? If
LeBron, because I told you to give you lousy what I did on purpose. If LeBron James' legacy was going to end right now, right this second, what would his legacy be known for? I'll let you all answer that, because I think it's a great question.
Yes, please.
I think his legacy is going to be known for having been one of few players who's been able to literally go from team to team and be able to make the best of what was there. Yes, he's augmented some things in certain circumstances, but overall he's kind of took what was there, used it to the best of his ability, and made it so that at the very end of the day, he won some sort of championship, or at least competed for a championship. And there's not a lot of people who can say that. So I think that that's going to be a major part of his legacy as far as I'm concerned.
All right, well, since I'm going to be fair and everybody like that question the most, T, in your opinion, if LeBron James was going to end his career right now, today, he files his papers, I'm retired, what do you think his career would be most known for? His legacy?
He would purchase the hair club for men.
That's why.
Today.
That's why. Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be your official answer. That's your answer?
That's official.
All right, that's your official. Okay. All right, Fig. LeBron James is going to end his career today right now. What do you think his career would be known for officially?
He'd be the king of lace fronts for men.
I hate you, Jordan fans. I hate you, Jordan fans. I hate you.
That could be your final answer?
Hey, LeBron be selling bootleg hairlines.
Oh my God.
All right, that's his final answer.
No, but the truth. No, listen, 100% honest. LeBron James would go down as an all-time great player in his era. But if we're talking about the greatest player to ever lace him up, he can't be that. He just can't.
Okay. All right. So, Mike Sean, since you obviously didn't like that question, I should give you a different question, but I'm going to throw out this question. Mike Sean,
I hate y'all. I hate y'all. I hate y'all for saying funny stuff. I hate y'all for saying.
What would LeBron James' legacy be known for if he was to have to retire today? What do you think his legacy would be known?
He'd be the greatest player all around basketball player of all time. He covered Derrick Rose in the Eastern Conference Finals in his MVP season. He's the one who shut down Derrick Rose there. Michael Jordan couldn't cover Kevin Johnson, since we want to get into it. Kevin Johnson was actually doing pick and rolls to get Michael Jordan on him. Like I get it. I get it. 6-0. I get it. 6-0 and all the good stuff. And Michael Jordan had one game to win without Scotty, and he couldn't do it against Detroit. He couldn't do it. There was one game that Scotty said, "I got a headache," and he sat down. And Mike said, "Oh, I can't win without you." LeBron took teams that never had an all-star player to the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs.
Talent, you see what he's trying to do? Talent, he's trying to create us to have a debate today. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to have a debate. We ain't trying to have a debate. That's not what we try to do. We try to get the debate and have our screens shaking and everything. We ain't trying to shake our screen.
It is. You know, the funny thing is.
No, shake the screen. Shake the screen.
Here's the thing. When you talk about defense, tell me how many first team all defensive has LeBron ever been on, or how many times has LeBron ever won defensive player of the year? How many times has LeBron played 82 games?
And Figs feeding into this, wanting to shake the screen. See what I'm saying?
82 games. LeBron has never
had a question
in his career played 82 games. He's never won defensive player of the year. And he doesn't have a bunch of all-team defenses. He just doesn't.
Go ahead, Mike. What's your question?
Michael Jordan didn't cover John Starks and got dunked on because he couldn't cover any guards that had any movement.
All right, can I throw out this last question? I'm going to ask you guys this last question. Talent.
Everybody mad at me. I'm sorry. I love y'all.
If Kevin Durant was going to end his career, this is my last question in the NBA, and I'm going to go to the same question with Kevin Durant. We're throwing out Kevin Durant instead of LeBron James. What would Kevin Durant's legacy, not what stuff he did, what would his legacy be if his career was to end today? His legacy.
Well, unfortunately, if it ends today, you end on crybaby. You would be crybaby. Unfortunately, people remember the last thing they see the most 90% of the time. So his last thing would be, let me out of Brooklyn. I'm demanding a trade, blah, blah. So you end on being a crybaby. And people will forget how great you were with OKC, full about chips you got, because it ended. The last takes I got in my mouth is your ass saying, "Get me out of here. I don't want to play here." So your legacy becomes private.
Okay, all right.
When somebody who's over 6'4" says you're a crybaby,
hold on,
he's
Mike.
a rat.
Hold on, Mike. Greg, Kevin Durant's legacy was to end today. In your mind, what would his legacy be known as right now?
Unfortunately, because he's in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn or New York City is the media capital of the world, he's going to end on "Hear ye, hear ye." He's going to be the town crier. Hear ye, hear ye, here stands the man 7 foot tall. It's not going to be good if it ends today, man. After this situation, wherever Kevin Durant ends up, if he stays in Brooklyn, goes somewhere else, he needs another season under his belt so that his career can end on a great note, man, because right now it's not good.
I think he needs another championship too. I have to agree with Fig with that one. Mike Sean, Kevin Durant's legacy was going to end today. He files paperwork and he retires at 34 years old. What do you think his legacy would be known as?
If I saw him face to face, I would never say this. I would never say. I would like to preface my comment that saying if I saw Kevin Durant, I would never say this. But you are a bitch in real life. In real life, the only championships you ever won was when everything was perfection. When you had the greatest shooters ever in your life next to you. When you had everything perfect. When you never had anything perfect, you ain't win a damn thing. When it was on your shoulders, and I want to bring this LeBron thing back up. When LeBron had a bunch of casual dudes that really weren't that good, he took them to the finals. When Kevin Durant had people next to him that weren't Steph, Clay, Draymond, and all them, he's never won anything, ever. And Kevin, once again, if I see you in person, I will act like I never saw this. I never said this. I never said this. I never said this.
What's your take on Kevin Durant's legacy? What would your take be?
I think, championships aside, to me, he goes down as one of the smoothest and greatest scorers this generation has ever seen. He does that with such ease and with such afterthought. Like, I always personally have likened him to George Gervin. George Gervin had the finger roll and, obviously had a jump shot and all of it as well. But I feel like Kevin Durant is the newer version of him in a real sense, just because of the way he plays the game. So for me personally, that's how I've always seen him. Put all the championships aside, his scoring prowess and the way he plays the game, I thought is George Gervin 2.0. So
hold the presses. I got a new name for Amir. From now on, when Amir comes to the show, Amir is the mind of reason.
Amir is always that. All right, so you ready for our rapid fire? We're getting ready to move on to the NFL. We're getting ready to do the NFL. We're getting ready to do the rapid fire. Each one of you guys is going to get different questions. We're going to keep this thing rolling. Chris Godwin returned to practice today in Tampa Bay. Tom Brady had to be happy to see him. We all know he had I think it was an ACL injury. He was gone for almost all the year. He's back. So my question to you, T, does Chris Godwin help Tampa Bay get to at least the championship game since he's there? Or do you think that doesn't matter? What's your take on Chris Godwin returning back to Tampa Bay?
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely, I think it helps them to get back to the top. And let's keep in mind, people, Tampa Bay is going to have not going to be no smooth sailing season, but we're going to get to see the best and the worst of guys like Tom Brady play. Now, I got them getting to the game before the game. They're the team to be up into the game before the game. That coming out of there, it's anybody's game at that point. Those last four teams that end up there, but absolutely anybody that's been on injured, IR, come back. Brady gonna need all the help he can get, bro. It matters.
All right, so that's a good one. So, Fig, my question to you is: Aaron Rodgers got caught with the drug that he said obviously didn't violate NFL drug policy and everything else, and the NFL couldn't disagree with him and everything else. So people came up and said, "Yeah, he needs another Super Bowl to solidify his legacy." Do you think Aaron Rodgers needs another Super Bowl win to solidify his legacy, Fig?
No, man, because hey, here's the thing, man. Here's what people, it's crazy.
Fig. I thought he was going to ask you, do you need another Super Bowl to do the drugs? We say you need one more Super Bowl where you can walk around with these drugs. No, I'm sorry.
Shout out to Aaron Rodgers. I took the same drug. Like, it's amazing.
Yo, let me just tell you this, man. Viagra is a hell of a drug. Nobody realized that it was banned for NFL players to take Viagra. I didn't know that. It's a performance enhancing drug, but it's a different kind of performance. But listen, man, a Super Bowl is probably in sports one of the most difficult championships to ever win, because you need all of the planets aligned for you in perfect order to be able to win a Super Bowl. Your team has to be healthy. You know, you just need you need the ball to bounce a certain way in order to win a Super Bowl. So Aaron Rodgers has proven himself as far as MVPs and all that stuff like that, his accolades, the yards, all that stuff like that. The one thing that is eluding him is multiple Super Bowls.
I thought you were going to say balls.
No.
Mike Sean, the Kansas City Chiefs were 12-5 last season with Tyreek Hill. Will the Kansas City Chiefs be better, the same, or worse without Tyreek Hill this upcoming season?
Damn. They'll probably be the same. They won't be better, but they'll make it to the playoffs. So that's all that matters. I don't think they'll be better or worse. I think they'll be the same. I don't think Patrick Mahomes will be bouncing balls, but I think that you know what's funny? Yeah, probably. You know what's funny? I just thought about this. Patrick Mahomes will probably wind up in the AFC Championship.
That's what I was about to ask you. So you think they're going back to the AFC Championship game?
I think they're going to go back to the AFC Championship because I think people, for some reason, somebody who went to a Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls, is being underestimated.
Okay, so that's okay. All right. So let's see, Amir. Your question is, let's see. Matt Rule, the coach of the Carolina Panthers, says that Baker Mayfield is looking phenomenal. So my question to you is, do you think Baker Mayfield is going to lead the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs? Not even, not the Super Bowl, just the playoffs.
Just to the playoffs.
Remember now, there's 17 games. You ain't got to win that many to get to the playoffs. So you think they're going to get basically 8 wins, 9 wins to get to the playoffs?
I don't know. I don't know if Baker Mayfield has that in his jacket just yet. First of all, getting acclimated to a new team, a whole new set of plays and all of that stuff. That's the first thing. Then the second thing, if I'm not mistaken, is an NFC. The Carolina Panthers are in the NFC, correct?
Yeah.
I'm not sure which division because I can't picture all the divisions in my head. The NFC is, with the exception of the East, which is the Giants, Philly, and which is trash. The rest of the NFC is incredible.
Damn, Mayor. Damn, it's the Cowboys. Damn.
Let's keep it 1,000. The Cowboys, again, no playoff wins since '96. The Giants have been terrible since Fire and Ice. The Eagles go up and down just like the Dow Jones. So you never know who's going to get there. So what are we talking about? Did I leave somebody out? Those are the 3 teams that we care about. The Redskins, the Commanders, aka the Redskins, aka the Commanders. You don't expect anything from them because they're in shambles. So am I lying? So they could possibly make it just because the NFC East is trash. But again, I got to wait and see. The jury's still out for me with Baker Mayfield.
Okay. All right. So talent, I'm starting the next row with you. All right. So here we go. Dan Marino is one of the most all-star ever QBs to ever play the game, and he never won a Super Bowl. If you had to pick one NFL quarterback who's playing right now, who's never going to win a Super Bowl. We ask this question kind of, in a way right now, but this question is different. Like, who's going to get Dan Marino status and win a lot of games, go to a lot of playoffs with a lot of victories, end up in the Hall of Fame, but never get a Super Bowl victory? Who do you think that QB would be if you had to put a name on it right now?
Damn.
That got to be like your man, Jimmy G. He's not even going to get the yardage for Jimmy G. I think it's going to be one of the young guys that we're looking at right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if Murray, Kyler Murray, end up being that guy. A lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of wins, and they just don't put everything together at the right time to get him a chip.
Okay, I think he goes with Kyler Murray. Fig, I'm going to ask you the same question, man. Who do you think is going to have close to Dan Marino stats, Dan Marino numbers, forget the most passing yards in the season, most wins, have a tons of playoff wins every year and everything else, and never, ever get a Super Bowl victory? Kind of like the QB used to play for the Chargers. You know what I mean?
The one thing the one that came to mind previously was Jim Kelly from Buffalo. But now, because Dan Marino was a gunslinger, and this guy I think is a gunslinger if he stays healthy, Jameis Winston, man. Jameis Winston actually had a few seasons where he threw for thousands of yards. I believe his last one, when he was healthy, was for over 5,000 yards. And he was able, I believe he'll be able to win a lot of games going forward, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to get over the hump because of all of the elite teams, other elite teams that they have in the NFL.
Well, one thing's for sure, he got new glasses, new contacts. So if he throws 5,000 yards,
exactly. He had LASIK surgery.
He won't have 20 interceptions in the same season like he did that year.
And imagine that. Imagine had he not had interceptions, how many yards he would have thrown for.
Yeah, Michael Sean, same question to go to you, man. Who's going to have that Dan Marino type of season or Dan Marino type of career with a lot of touchdowns and everything else, close to like Peyton Manning's numbers, except he's not going to win a Super Bowl? Who do you think that could be?
I'm not going over the hump, but what I'm saying is Derek Carr.
You think Derek Carr would be that guy?
I think Derek Carr has the most pressure in the AFC right now because he has Devontae Adams, and he's never going over the hump. But
ain't nobody humping around, Mike.
No, but I'm serious. Derek Carr has a lot of pressure. He has the best. He has like 3 receivers that are dope, and he has the best receiver in the NFL. I don't think he's gonna make it to the AFC Championship, honestly.
Okay, Amir, you get this last question, bro. Your question is going to be the same thing. Who's going to have Dan Marino type numbers? Most yards in career, I mean, Dan Marino has some phenomenal numbers too. He had the most touchdowns in one season. He broke a lot of records, man. He's in the Hall of Fame, but he ain't never won a Super Bowl. Who do you think is going to be sitting right next to him when the career is over?
You know what's weird? I know this is going to sound weird because Fig brought the other guy who was in that position up.
Yeah,
that might end up being the same thing that happens with the new Buffalo team. I just think they have bad luck. I can't explain why. They're the New York team they just like Staten Island. We never acknowledge them. You talk about New York and nobody ever acknowledges Staten Island. We do the same thing with Buffalo. No, there's no disrespect to Buffalo, but we do act like that. We be like, they not New York.
Staten Island.
But, so I think that the quarterback that they have, because, that team has been stellar the last few seasons. They always seem to be, right in the hunt. But the AFC, again, is so stacked with other great teams that I don't know if they'll be able to get over the hump. So I think that quarterback may find himself in that space. You know what I mean?
Listen, Amir, you ain't lying, because when you're winning a game with 13 seconds left to go in the game, you should win that game. I don't care what nobody says. You win 13 seconds left to go, and the team has to come down the entire field to kick a field goal just to tie that game, and they do in 13 seconds, bro. The coach should have been fired. Like, I don't care.
All right, real quick, Frank. I don't think Patrick Mahomes will ever win another Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he already got one.
I'll take that.
No, another. I said another. He'll never win another one.
He's gonna win this year.
Yeah.
All right, I got 25 cents.
All right, so my last question for all you guys. I'm gonna go to the same thing with Joe Burrow. Everything. I don't know if you guys heard Joe Burrow, but I see. I'm gonna start with you, T, because T's over here cracking up. Joe Burrow said he's feeling better. He's taught some great passes at training camp and everything else. So, do you think Joe Burrow is going to be one of those QBs? He's going to ever get a Super Bowl for Cincinnati Bengals, or you think he's not going to get a Super Bowl?
No, I think it was Mike that liked this guy. This guy's okay, but no, I remember Mike.
I
Really
do.
It was you, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, he was this guy. This guy is he's like everybody else. He's Danny Jones 3.0.
Ooh, that was a real twist.
So in my opinion, he could fall into that bracket of a guy out there getting busy, never get a chip. But for Mike's sake, I want him to win.
For Mike's sake.
Mike's sake. Mike, Joe Burrow gonna be this. Fig, you got this, Joe? Fig, you got Joe Burrow winning the Super Bowl?
Joe Burrow,
Cincinnati Bengals, you got him ever winning the Super Bowl?
Oh no, I know the team. He's a real talented quarterback, man. I mean, in a perfect world, like here's the thing. I said again, man, it's difficult to win, but he has the talent, and from what he's done previously, I wouldn't put it out there as an impossibility.
Okay, all right. But Mike, Sean, do you think Joe Burrow will ever win a Super Bowl? In your opinion?
Yeah, this year he'll win the whole thing this year. Like I'm willing to bet talent right now. Joe Burrow will win this Super Bowl this year. He'll be the first team that lost the Super Bowl that went back to the Super. I'm telling you, when I tell you he's got that Tom Brady swag, he's got the whole thing. He was sacked 12 times in a game, in a playoff game.
I don't care if he's wearing Air Militias. Listen, I will give you 2-1 odds. I'll give you 2-1 odds.
Oh, 2-1 odds. Take that, Mike. Take that.
Mike, you got a better chance of Burrow Hall.
My man. You think Joe Burrow's
telling y'all.
You think Joe Burrow's gonna ever get a Super Bowl victory?
I don't know. You know, the interesting thing about losing the Super Bowl is whether or not you have the fortitude to come back, because obviously to get there, has been said by, so many people on the panel today, is tough within itself. So you have to have a real great mental game in order to get back, because you have a chip on your shoulder and you have something to prove. I'm not sure if he's wired that way. According to Mike, he appears to be, in that echelon. So
damn, Mary said according to Mike. Jesus.
I'm just saying, Mike.
And then
I do believe in him. I do believe in him, but don't say according to Mike. I don't know this dude like that.
Mike, you taking that bet, Mike? Are we official?
No, I'll take the bet. I'll take the bet.
Right. 2-1 odds. We're gonna get that. All right.
Mike wrote a song about him. He believes that Joe Burrow is the future.
Mike said,
I believe Joe Burrow is the future.
Wait. I didn't write that song. I didn't take the bet. I ain't do nothing. But I really think Joe Burrow's going to the Super Bowl. So please timestamp this box.
Oh, I did. I got it down.
How much you want to bet, Mike, before we go?
Yeah. How much you want to bet before we roll out of it?
Jesus, talent is the most.
I'm getting you 2-1 if you win.
Jesus, 2-1. So it's 2-1. But how much do I have to put in for 2-1?
That's on you. Whatever your bet is, if you win and you're right, I pay you double.
All right, 200.
200 it is. It's time to stamp it.
And Taylor knows Joe Burrow got to win a Super Bowl. That's the bet.
Yes, he has to win the Super Bowl. Like, I'm good for the money. Yes.
Listen.
Oh wow.
According to Mike.
Oh, here we go.
It was like that movie, according to Garp.
All right, so talent is in Martha's Vineyard, and he took 2-1 odds in Martha's Vineyard. And
let me tell you what I think about Martha's Vineyard. Fuck. I mean, no, I'm sorry. I just bet him $200. I don't give a damn where Talon is at. I don't care if Talon is at a crack house right now. I don't care.
Yeah, but you win $400.
No, I understand that, but he challenged me, and now he got to promote where he gonna be at because it's gonna be like he's gonna make like $12,000.
How they do?
Why did I bet him?
Marvin's Millions off the chain is the Comedy Festival 11th year anniversary. Coco Brown, Chris Spencer, your boy Talent. If you got people out here, hit them up. We added 2 shows. We added 2 matinee shows.
He gonna showing off. He gonna.
I gotta get this money in case I lose this.
Yo, Talent made the money that I just bet at Salsa con Fuego. Like really?
Big talk to you, man. Tell everybody out there what's going on.
Hey man, listen, man. I'm here, but I'm thinking about getting a jet ski because I'm right over across the water.
I should have bet big.
I'm gonna get a jet ski and ride it over to Martha's Vineyard and see what's going on one of these matinee shows with Talent in the crew.
Amir, thank you for joining the show, bro. Thank you for sitting in for Rodney Perry and Dave. Really, I appreciate that, man. What's going on?
Everything is good, man. Thank you guys for having me on. As always, man, I enjoy being on here. Salute to everybody. A-Rock Sealy, y'all see it there on Instagram. Amir Sealy on everything else.
My son, who's in such a great mood today. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
No, I should have bet Amir, and I could have just bet his shirt. Like his shirt would have been the amount of money.
Amir had a white shirt and washed it with some red underwear, and that's how it got paid.
Amir buttoned his top 2 buttons, and I couldn't bet him. All right, I'll see y'all August 23rd. Caroline's, it goes down. You know what it is? Box seats. Yeah.
Box seats, yeah.
Let's see if my button sticks today. Thank y'all for watching. The show's called Box Seats on the Humor Mill channel. We'll talk to y'all. Peace.
Oh, God.